We live by the clock, don't we? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's a rhythm so deeply ingrained in our lives that we never even think to question it. But what if I told you that this constant cycle of eating isn't what your body was designed for? What if it's just a modern habit? And what if, by pausing that cycle for just 36 hours, you could reactivate a primal power, an ancient operating system that's been lying dormant inside you this whole time? This says it all, really. Our relationship with food is one of the most powerful habits we have. We don't even notice the chain until we try to take a single step outside of its reach. But here's the secret. That feeling we've been taught to fear, that initial pang of hunger, isn't a sign of weakness. It's the sound of the key turning in the lock, beginning to unleash a biological strength that's written into your DNA. So let's talk about that first hurdle, the feeling of hunger. We've been conditioned to think it's an emergency, a red alert from our body screaming for fuel. But it's not. It's actually just a notification. It's your body calmly saying, okay, the first easy access fuel tank is empty. I'm about to switch over to the high performance engine. It's not an alarm bell, it's a gear shift. See, for the first few hours of a fast, your body is just doing business as usual. Think of your liver as holding a small backup fuel tank filled with glycogen. It's easy to get to. The first 12 hours or so are really just about emptying that tank. It's a necessary first step before the real magic can begin. And this is where the journey truly starts. Once that glycogen tank is empty, your body doesn't panic. It does something incredible. It flips a switch, a deep metabolic switch. It's like rebooting your entire system from its standard everyday programming into an ancient, hyper-efficient survival code that our ancestors relied on for thousands of years. That new operating system runs on a different kind of fuel, ketones. Your liver completely changes its job description. It goes from being a simple sugar distributor to a high-tech bioreactor, transforming your own body fat into a clean, powerful, elite fuel source. This isn't just a backup generator kicking on, it's a full-on power grid upgrade. But this goes so much deeper than just energy. While you're running on this new fuel, your body starts a process called autophagy. It literally means self-eating. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Your cells begin to hunt down old, damaged, junky components and recycle them. It's a deep internal spring cleaning that makes way for newer, stronger, healthier cells to be built. This is rejuvenation at the most fundamental level. Now, the big question, what about losing muscle? This is probably the #1 myth about fasting. But think about it. Why would your body evolve a system that burns its own essential machinery before using the fuel it specifically stored for hard times? It wouldn't. Your body is way smarter than that. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It can flood your system with human growth hormone by as much as an incredible 1,400% to specifically protect your muscle and tell your body, hey, use the fat instead. It's an absolutely brilliant piece of biological engineering. Okay, let's be honest. The first 24 hours, this is the proving ground. This is where those chains of habit pull the tightest. But if you can change your perspective, if you can see this not as a time of deprivation, but as a time of intense, productive, internal reconstruction, the entire experience shifts. And it's not random. This is a predictable, step-by-step process. Around hour 12, that metabolic switch begins to flip. By hour 18, that new ketone fuel is really coming online. And by the 24-hour mark, that deep cellular cleaning and gut repair are hitting their stride. Every hour has a purpose, and it's all leading to a total system renewal. And get this, while your mind is being tested, something amazing is happening in your gut. For the first time, possibly in years, your digestive system gets a complete break. And it uses that time not just to rest, but to rebuild. We're talking about an accelerated repair cycle for the very lining of your intestines, reinforcing the primary wall between you and the outside world. So, if those first 24 hours are about the hard work of repair and adaptation, these final 12 hours, this is the payoff. This is the revelation. This is where you climb to the peak of the mountain, and the most profound benefits for your mind and body truly come into focus. Let's talk about your brain. Running on sugar or glucose is like using standard unleaded gas. It gets the job done, but it leads to energy spikes and those dreaded afternoon crashes. Switching to ketones, that's like filling up with high-octane rocket fuel. It is a cleaner, more efficient, and incredibly stable energy source that delivers unparalleled mental clarity. There's a reason our hunting ancestors became hyper-focused when hungry. That powerful wiring is still in you. When you reach this peak, you are unlocking a total system upgrade. Your brain produces more BDNF, which is like fertilizer for your brain cells. Your immune system gets a hard reset, clearing out old, ineffective cells. And your body finally gets access to those stubborn fat stores that no diet seems to touch. Its peak performance unlocked. So, you've completed the journey. You've unlocked the code. But how you come back from this state is absolutely crucial. You can't just crash land back into your old habits. Doing it the right way allows you to solidify all the benefits you've worked for. Think of this as a re-entry protocol. It's a strategy for gently reawakening your digestive system. You start small, with foods that are easy on the system but packed with nutrients. You're respecting the powerful, renewed state your body is in. This ensures a smooth transition and lets you integrate all that hard-earned progress. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. We're always looking for the next pill, the next hack, the next piece of technology to optimize ourselves. But fasting is a powerful reminder that the most incredible technology is already built into our biology. This isn't about forcing your body to do something unnatural. It's about getting out of its way and letting it return to its brilliant natural design. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. In a world that screams at us to always add more, consume more, do more, what if the most powerful upgrade you could ever experience comes not from adding something new, but from the simple, profound act of taking something away? What could you unlock? So, have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're doing the workouts, you're doing the crunches, but that stubborn belly fat just refuses to go away? Well, you're definitely not alone. And I'm here to tell you it's not because you're not trying hard enough. The truth is, most of the popular advice out there is built on a complete lie. And today, we're going to expose the hidden metabolic truth behind it all. To understand just how huge this issue is, you only really need to see one number. 1.5 billion. That's the combined number of views on just the top 75 YouTube videos about losing belly fat. Billion with a B. That is an absolutely staggering number of people looking for help and being led down the exact same wrong path. And here's where it gets really crazy. Of those 1.5 billion views, a whopping 97% are for videos promising some kind of quick fix. You know the ones, 7-day ab challenge or some magic fat-burning drink. A tiny, almost insignificant 3% even bother to talk about the real, underlying cause of the problem. So this is the most important thing to get your head around. That fat around your midsection, it's not a simple calorie problem that you can just burn off. Think of it more like a check engine light for your body. It's a hormonal symptom of a much deeper metabolic issue. And you can't ever fix the symptom if you don't first heal the system that's causing it. Alright, so let's really dive in and break down this billion-view lie. It's so appealing, isn't it? It promises you the world with barely any effort. But for the vast majority of people, it is absolutely designed to fail. And the reason is simple. It completely ignores how our bodies actually work. I'm sure you've heard these promises a million times. Get a flat stomach in just 1 week. All it takes is a few minutes of crunches, maybe you drink some special tea, and the best part, you don't even have to change what you eat. You know, it sounds way too good to be true because, well, it is. It's a trap. And this, right here, is where the real harm is done. Because when you pour all your time and energy into these things and they don't work, what do? You blame yourself. You think, I guess I just don't have enough willpower. Or maybe my body is just broken. But the problem was never, ever your willpower. The problem was the advice you were following. So let's get into the actual science here. To really understand why those quick fixes are completely doomed from the start, we need to talk about your body's metabolic state. We need to talk about a condition that affects millions of people, and most of them have no idea it's even happening. The key idea we need to understand is something called insulin resistance. Now, that sounds complicated, but it's not. Imagine insulin is the key that opens your cells to let sugar in for energy. Well, in an insulin-resistant state, it's like the locks on your cells have gotten all rusty and gummed up. The key doesn't work very well, so sugar gets stuck in your blood. Your body panics, and its only option is to take that extra sugar and store it as fat. And this gets you stuck in a really nasty, vicious cycle. It usually starts with eating a lot of processed junk, sugar, white flour, you name it. This causes a huge insulin spike. You do that over and over again, and your body's cells just start to ignore the signal. The resistance builds up, and pretty soon your body's default setting is just stuck on fat storage mode. Okay, now this is where things get really counterintuitive. Because you're all taught that more exercise is always better, right? But what if I told you that for someone whose metabolism is already struggling, doing the wrong kind of exercise is actually making everything worse? Just look at this comparison. It's like we're talking about two different worlds. A healthy metabolism can easily burn its own fat for fuel. Its energy is unlocked. But with insulin resistance, your body is a sugar burner. It's forgotten how to use fat, so your fat stores are basically locked away. When you force a really intense workout, you can't access that fat. You just burn through the tiny bit of sugar you have, you feel exhausted, and then you get these intense cravings for more carbs. Sound familiar? The main point is this. For a body that's already stressed out, a grueling workout isn't helpful, it's a crisis. Your body thinks it's in an emergency, so it floods your system with the stress hormone cortisol. And what does cortisol do? It tells your body to store even more fat, especially right around your belly. Now, I know all of that might sound discouraging, but this is actually where the good news starts. This isn't a life sentence. You can absolutely reverse this whole process. We just have to shift the goal. The goal isn't to punish your body with exercise anymore. It's to intentionally heal your metabolism from the inside out. The path to getting better really comes down to these 4 pillars. And it's not about one single trick. It's a whole strategy. You have to manage your insulin, fuel up with real food, get your sleep and stress under control, and move your body in a way that retrains it to burn fat again. So how do we lower insulin? The most powerful way is to simply give your body a break from eating all the time. Maybe that means eating fewer meals, like 1 or 2 a day, or trying a simple intermittent fasting schedule, like the 16-8 rule. This gives your insulin levels a chance to finally come down. And of course, you have to stop pouring gasoline on the fire by ditching the processed sugar and refined carbs. And this means the best exercise for healing is actually gentle and steady. It's aerobic. We're talking about going for a brisk walk, not killing yourself with crunches. The idea is to move at a pace where you could still have a conversation. This slowly teaches your body how to tap into those locked up fat stores for energy without causing that big counterproductive stress response. It is so important to understand that this is not another 7-day fix. Real, true metabolic healing takes time. You're fundamentally rewiring your body's entire hormonal system, and that just takes consistency. There are no shortcuts. A realistic timeline looks a lot more like this. In the first few weeks, everything is happening on the inside. Your body is adapting. You might not see a huge change in the mirror, but the healing is underway. Then, after 2 or 3 months, you'll start to notice visible changes, and your blood work will start to improve. And within 6 to 12 months, you can achieve that deep, lasting healing, where your body becomes truly metabolically flexible again. So let's just finish with this. You might have spent years thinking that the problem was a lack of discipline on your part. But the science is clear, the problem was never you. It was the faulty map you were given to follow. So the only real question left is, are you ready to finally throw that old map away and start addressing the root cause? You know, we're all kind of wired to make assumptions. It's just human nature. You see a certain look, a certain size, and your brain, well, it instantly puts it in a box, right? Strong over here, not strong over there. But what if our wiring is just wrong? Today we're gonna dive into a paradox, one that completely shatters everything you think you know about what power really looks like. Yeah, our minds, they're built for shortcuts. It's efficient. So you see a massive bodybuilder and your brain just goes, power, simple. But then you see a lean janitor and, well, let's be real, your expectations probably don't include superhuman strength. And that one single idea, that we almost always see what we expect to see, that's the key. It's what unlocks this whole paradox we're about to get into. So let me ask you this. What if the strongest person in the room is the one you've never, ever pick out of a lineup? I mean, think about that for a second. This isn't just some hypothetical question. It's a real physiological reality. And honestly, the answer might just change the way you look at strength for the rest of your life. Alright, so our story begins in the one place where strength is supposed to be on full display, right? The gym. But here's the twist. Our story doesn't start with the biggest guy in there. Nope. It starts with the one person nobody, and I mean nobody, is even looking at. I mean, you know the scene, right? You can almost hear it. The clang of iron, the grunts, the effort. It's basically a temple built for aesthetics where all the progress is measured in the mirror. You know, it's all about the size of a bicep or how defined your abs are. But then, something happens. Someone completely unexpected walks into this world of sculpted bodies. An unassuming cleaner, just moving through the space, almost invisible, just doing his job. So, he needs to clean the floor, and in his way is this barbell. And he just casually moves it. But here's the thing. It's a weight that just moments before had some serious lifters straining to move. And the regulars, these guys who've been training for years, they just stop and stare, total disbelief. And you can see the question on their faces, how? Because what they're witnessing, it just completely defies everything they thought they knew about strength. So what in the world is going on here? Is this some kind of magic trick? Nope, not at all. It's science. And what it reveals is this fundamental split, this huge difference in the world of training. It's the difference between looking strong and actually being strong. Okay, so let's break down the science behind this whole paradox. On one hand, you've got what we can call show muscle. That's something called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's all about increasing the fluid and the volume inside the muscle cells. Basically, it inflates the muscle so it looks bigger. But then you have real strength. This is myofibrillar hypertrophy, and it's totally different. This is about increasing the density and the number of actual muscle fibers, the little engines that do the contracting. So it's not about size, it's about pure raw force. And this, right here, is what's known as the sleeper build. It's the perfect name for it, isn't it? It's the ultimate embodiment of this whole janitor's paradox. We're talking about a physique that's built not for the mirror, but for moving in the real world. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to be seen to be felt. So the obvious question is, how is this kind of power even built? Let me tell you, it's not an accident, it's not just genetic luck. It is the result of a very deliberate, very intelligent system. A system built on 3 core pillars of force. Okay, here they are. Intelligent programming, strategic nutrition, and active recovery. And listen, this isn't about spending endless hours in the gym. It's a complete holistic system where all 3 of these things, the smart training, the right fuel, and the recovery, they all work together to build that true functional power from the inside out. Now, here's the crucial point, and it might sound a little crazy. Building this kind of real strength often means spending less time in the gym. Seriously, we're talking about just 3 or 4 really focused workouts a week. The magic isn't in the hours you put in, it's in the method. It's a concept called training periodization. All that really means is you're intelligently changing up your training volume and intensity over time. That's how you maximize results and completely avoid getting stuck on a plateau. Okay, so let's get into the absolute core of that intelligent programming. This part requires a pretty radical shift in how you think. You have to stop training individual muscles and start training fundamental human movements. The whole philosophy is actually really simple. In the real world, strength is never isolated. I mean, think about it. When you go to lift a heavy box, you're not just using your bicep, are you? No way. You're using your legs, your core, your back, your arms. Your entire body works as a single unit. And your training, it has to reflect that reality. First up, the push. This is one of our most primal movements. I mean, think about pushing a car, or a heavy door, or even just pushing yourself up off the ground. This is the bedrock of upper body pressing strength. Next, you have the pull. It's the opposite and equal force. Think of doing a pull-up or rowing a boat. This is the movement pattern that builds the strength to pull things and your own body through space. Then there's the hinge. You could argue this is the king of all movements. We're talking about the deadlift. It's that simple, powerful act of picking something heavy up off the floor, and that, my friends, is the true foundation of raw, full body power. And finally, we have the carry. Because, look, picking something up is one thing, but actually moving with it, that's a whole other level. The ability to carry a heavy load across a distance, that tests your grip, your core, your stability. It is the ultimate expression of strength in motion. You know, the man who kind of inspired this whole paradox, Anatoly, he has this great quote that sums it all up, even if the English is a little broken. He says, calculus and Vikings, they never train arms day or cows day. And it's perfect, right? Ancient warriors, historical strongmen, they didn't have arm day. They built incredible strength by actually doing these fundamental movements. They trained for performance, not just to look good in the mirror. Okay, so we've seen the illusion, right? We've broken down the science behind it, and we've even looked at the method. So what does all this mean for you? I mean, how do you go from just understanding this paradox to actually embodying it yourself? Well, the first crucial lesson is this: patience. This kind of power, it's not built in a month. It's not even built in a year. The athlete behind this whole janitor thing, Anatoly, he spent more than 7 years perfecting his system with consistent, smart training. There are just no shortcuts when it comes to building real strength. And you know, that might be the most empowering takeaway of all. This kind of strength, it isn't magic. It's not reserved for a handful of genetically gifted people. It's a system, a repeatable, learnable system that's built on these timeless principles of human movement. And it's something that absolutely anyone can apply to change the way they train forever. So look, the question isn't how does he do it anymore? The real question is for you. Now that you know the truth, that real strength is about performance, not just how you look, that it's built on a system of smart, consistent work, what potential is hiding inside of you just waiting to be unlocked? The real question is, what will you build with it?